I'm Rod Jackson.
I'm Leonie Marshall.
And John Taylor.
And we are 1111.
1111.
Yeah.
That's the way my day goes. Do you go off-road a lot? Not much, just the gutters at my kids' school. Don't really care about the fuel.
It's my son's birthday. He was born on the 11th of November 2000, so he turned 11 on the 11th of the 11th, 2011.
I'm really looking forward to, like, John and Leonie and the three of us getting the chance to actually work on some our own material, like as a combined effort.
I left Pavity. It was a bit sad because I'd been with the band for 6 years. It is an incredible thrill to be able to perform your own material that people like.
I want to do an album.
People coming up to me and going, that was awesome, or you got a great voice, and it's mind-blowing. So, yeah, just want that again, I guess.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
The rhythm section, we play jazz. So
They get too involved sometimes. They're almost losing track of where they're going with it.
It starts out with a wah.
Well, what do you have to say about that, John?
you need a psychiatrist.
Celebrating diversity.
Band competition.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody from Canberra, from Harmony German Club. This is Celebrate Diversity Band Competition, and this is Heat 1. And I'm tonight interviewing some exciting bands. Ladies and gentlemen, please introduce yourselves as individuals and then as a band.
Okay, well, I'm Rod Jackson.
I'm Leonie Marshall.
And John Taylor.
And we are 1111.
1111.
Yeah.
Well, I usually ask artists about their artist names, the band names. So can you tell me about your band name, 1111? What does it mean and how did it come about?
Okay, so 1111 was, and a few people have told me since that it's, you look at your phone and it's 1111, and that was all happening. And then I booked the studio to record, not realising I'd booked it for the 11th. And then when we had a practice gig at that time with Bren, the lead guitarist, I had so much fun with three on stage. I thought that's way better than being a solo act. And then in November, John and I hooked up online, and now we're the 1111 with double bass and the beautiful vocals of Leonie. So that's how we came about. We're 1111, too late to be famous, but not too late to have fun.
That's awesome. I like the attitude.
And John, 1111 is also significant for John, so he can tell you.
Why, John?
Well, it's my son's birthday. He was born on the 11th of November 2000, so he turned 11 on the 11th of the 11th, 2011. At that time, when he was born, the number of the house we lived at was number 11. He had 11 cousins and so forth. He also shares a birthday with his great-grandmother, and she was born on the 11th of November 2013. And
13, wasn't it?
Heck, 11th of November 1913. So that means she was 5 years old on Armistice Day. So when all the parties were going off, you know what 5-year-olds are like. She thought it was all for her.
That's interesting. So, guys, basically the band is very new, right?
Yeah. So this is actually tonight, as this little setup. This was our second time on stage, so it's very exciting. Yeah. So we haven't done a lot, but we're planning to do a lot more.
So you're missing one member. Who is he?
Bren is going to rejoin us just for next week, a lead guitarist, Bren Ryan, because we have a gig at the Basement, which we're very excited about. But generally, we will be sort of more the acoustic, this three, and then with probably the occasional cameo of Bren, because he lives at Wollongong, so it makes it a little bit... But this will be the core the core of 1111. Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about your musical interest, how it began? Maybe John, starting with you.
Well, my background is in folk music, mostly the five-string banjo, playing bluegrass, although I was classically trained on the clarinet many, many years ago. But I bought a banjo, I picked up a banjo, the original owner was chasing after me going, "Stop, thief." And I played for many, many years in bluegrass bands, did some folk rock with the Margie Curran Band for a while, and then for the last few years I was in the Pavity Bush Band, playing a lot of bush dances and things like that. We parted company in November last year, but with COVID anyway, most of the time, we do bush dances, there's no work on in any event. I have played worked as a double bass player for 6 years in a band called Contretemps, doing the dance music of New England, which is how I learned how to play the double bass. And then, when I was parted company with Pavity, didn't have a banjo gig, I just advertised on Facebook. Rod answered the ad, came round, had a jam, it worked.
That is awesome. What do you have to say about that, Rod?
Well, it was pretty, because when I went round to see John, it was sort of, we were just going to jam. It was just to get together. And we started with pretty good. And he said, "Oh, so what do you call yourself?" And I said, "Oh, I did have a trio called 1111, but I don't know." And he goes, "No, you have to keep that." And that's when he told the story about his family connection with that number. So yeah, I'm just self-taught guitarist, and 7 years ago I made the decision that I was going to learn songs all the way through, and then people suggested I do open mics, and I did a few of those, and then it's just...
Is me, I think. I think it was me that was the people pushed him into an open mic.
Kept pushing, and then I said, well, if you're going to push, you're going to get up with me. So this is only Leonie's, fourth time on stage. She used to get terrible stage fright and wouldn't sing, so because people told us she was a bad singer, hey?
Who told you that?
Yes, I know. There's somebody who was deaf. And
they told me to shut up and not sing for too long.
Yeah. Isn't that awful what people can do?
Yeah, I've got to comment about that because, it's kind of the wrong thing to do, but when I first heard Leonie's voice, came round to my place for a further jam session, and we did some blues stuff, I thought I was playing with Billie Holiday. It was awesome, and the same with Rod's voice and the lyricism and stuff. I haven't heard such clever lyrics or sensitive lyrics, and the way the two voices go together. I thought, I want to play with this. I want to play in this trio. I just want to play this music.
That's very nice.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. It's been, and it's very humbling because to get up and actually play your own songs, not do covers, and then so you're putting yourself out there for people just to go, well, I don't know it, and I just don't like it. So to see, I always look to the crowd, and if I can see at least a few heads doing this, at least I know they've at least got the rhythm of it. So that's, but yeah.
What do you think?
I always thought when I met him, his songs were too good for nobody else to be hearing them. So yeah, it was really important to get him out there and get him singing his own songs. And I love singing his songs with him. It's really, really cool.
So all of the songs that you performed today, your band's songs, your own?
Yeah, they're the ones I wrote. Yeah. So, and then hopefully, because we've only just started in November, I'm really looking forward to like John and Leonie and the three of us getting a chance to actually work on some our own material, like as a combined effort, because John's got some great songs that he's played for me as well, and we've so in time but actually to get some collaboration between the three of us. I've set a goal to write a song for Leonie because it's too good a voice just to have her on backing. So I need to have more songs for her. Yes, everyone says that. And so that's a challenge for me to do that. Yes. So yeah.
Well, what do you have to say about that, John? What's your feeling with this band going forward?
Oh, look, I'm really looking forward to it because I've been writing my own songs for a long time, done very few of them, maybe around campfires. I've written a lot of comedy songs, satire and parody. I've also written some sort of serious ballads and bluesy, country blues type stuff that hasn't really had any airplay, and yet, people tell me I write good songs. So this is also a bit of an opportunity to work that material with Rod and Leone as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. I've performed my own instrumentals in my folk career, and that's an incredible buzz. So I get what Rod's saying, that to play your own stuff and have people play it. And I think the most thrilling thing that ever happened to me was in Easter last year at the Good Folk thing, where one of my tunes was actually a jam session tune, and about 200 people were playing it. It is an incredible thrill to be able to perform your own material that people like, And
it is tough as well in the industry when you're not just going to do covers, because a lot of places where you can get gigs, they're wanting the background music, and that's great because it's great practice for your stage presence and everything, which is great. But it's always more enjoyable to do your own stuff. Yeah.
Of course. So I've heard you talk when you were on the stage. You were talking that you've already recorded a couple of songs together.
Yeah. Well, the recordings were done before John joined us, so they were with the lead guitar. So 3 of the songs, that we played tonight at the Blues, Cut Once and Right Song are actually on Spotify. But being green and not knowing what to do, the way I released them just too fast and just wanted them on there. And although it's exciting for the family and my grandkids to think Pop's on Spotify and that, I want to do an album, and I'm surrounding myself with the right people to create that sort of to get that happening.
Guys, so what's why and how did you get involved in this competition?
I think we were just looking for opportunities to showcase our material, and so we thought, well, let's give it a go. So it's celebrate diversity. I think we represent the aged sector.
Yeah, and like even we're older, but we're new to it.
Yeah.
But it's a passion that we have, and it's just fun to be able to get out there and enjoy it with people, and people smiling, and just it's really great. Yeah, good fun. Yeah.
People come up to you, like, this is the biggest thing I've ever done tonight, and people coming up to me and going, that was awesome, or you got a great voice, and it's mind blowing. So just want that again, I guess.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what's next for you?
Okay, so next, the immediate next is we once again we saw on Facebook that L.R. Marsh was looking for the support act, so we sent him our stuff, and he said we'd love us to support him, and so it's us, and then the Sun Bears, which is a local blues band that they're on as well. So we're actually on a billboard. We were pretty excited about that. It was unexpected, but let's just do it, and that's when we will be for that. And then after that we have I think Old Canberra Inn coming up, Dixon Tap House, and then we're going to be doing Tilba Winery down the coast we're starting now to get a few, and we're hoping this will build some more, and just it goes where it goes.
So you said you're going to be a supporting act next week. What's the gig?
Okay, so it's a supporting act at the Basement, and it's for Luke Marsh, and he's on his national tour, a blues guitarist, and and the Sun Bears, who were a local blues band, and we actually saw them play up at Thredbo because we were up there watching, and actually they're really good. I said to Leone, I don't know if I'm what was it? Inspired or terrified?
What about you, John?
How do you mean?
How do you feel about the upcoming gig at the Basement supporting those artists?
I've always wanted to play a gig at any venue called the Basement. You know, it's an article of faith, because I've seen gigs at the Basement up in Sydney when that was going. Now I'm really looking forward to it because, as I said, I've mostly been, totally been in the folk scene as a performer since 1996. So getting into sort of the blues, country blues crossover, and playing more of these different sort of concert gigs is, for me, just a bit of a hoot, because it's a difference. You know, I enjoyed playing all of the bush dances, and I love to perform. But I'm playing the double bass. I really, really enjoy it. I have a lot of fun doing it. By the same token, I've got some recording work coming up as an independent, banjo player, gun for hire. Somebody else answered my lonely hearts out as well. And you never know what the future's going to bring. But when I left Pavity, it was a bit sad because I'd been with the band for 6 years. I'd done another stint with it early in the 2000s. Pavity's been going for 40 odd years. I was a fan of it when I was a kid. I learned how to play the banjo from their original banjo player. So, I have a long history with them, but sometimes you've just got to draw the line and
kicking and screaming out of the too much folky and back onto the double bass where he rocks it.
Well, I played, as I said, double bass, contra dance music is very traditional fiddle music, but the rhythm section, we play jazz. So a lot of the stuff that I play with Rod, like the blues and a lot of the techniques that I'm using there, I have done before, or I have done in jam sessions or sit-in gigs and things. But to have a regular double bass playing gig again, hey, I'm not complaining, because it's great fun. Because I can also give vent to my warped sense of humour, because bass players get to do the jokes.
Yeah, I tell him I do the comedy. He's meant to be the straight man.
So, how is that working out?
Yeah, good. No.
They're both hilarious on stage together. I love listening. I love listening to them. They get too involved sometimes. They're almost losing track of where they're going with the.
You get to go home with him.
All of our relationship is in front of everybody.
This sounds very complicated.
But that's the other thing about this sort of music as well. Here we are at a gig where it's most people are sort of rock picking it out. But when you're up there as an acoustic trio, there is nowhere to hide. And so it is the audience, and you have to have connection with them and connection with yourselves on stage. It's actually quite a tough gig to do, because I've been doing acoustic stuff for my whole semi-unprofessional career, and there's no place to hide, particularly as a trio. I haven't done trio work before. I've always been in like a 5-piece or a 6-piece, a big group. Now as a trio, which means I actually have to practice.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
Guys, so what inspires you, or who inspires you to write what you write and make the music that you make?
Look, what inspires me to write? I don't know. It's just life, things that happen in life. It'll be a line from something, and it'll build. And it's funny because I have little sort of runs and that I've been playing for ages, but the words haven't come yet. That's sort of the way, and it starts out with and then the other day I sat down and I sort of wrote one. I don't know whether it's going to make it out of the but it just happened, and it was a place I was in, and yeah, it just sort of happened there and then you think, oh, and why can't so inspiration just comes from things that happen in life, like the blues. With that, the blues, yawning morning, my granddaughter's not wanting to get out of bed. Leonie, my stepdaughter, Lizzie, Leonie's little one, she used to have trouble getting dressed of the morning for school, and I started singing "Don't Know What Pants to Wear," and that's where that song came from. So the universe.
What about you, John?
Well, kind of depends. There was once we were on a bus at the National Folk Festival, me and two other bass players, Ed Radcliffe and Dougie Bull, and I solemnly swear we were up to no good. And we decided to write the ultimate country song with the rule being you had to get as many adjectives in a row as possible as to what happens to your heart in a really bad breakup. And I got 13.
Can you repeat them? Do you remember?
That's the only way that I can tell y'all how I feel without you near me, holding it together when we're fit to fall apart. Got a taste of cold cheating, lonesome broken heart, stony crying, hurting, bleeding, yearning, untrue aching heart.
Nice. Thank you very much. Well,
Does that go in the set list?
We'll work on it. Yeah, I got to learn it.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear creativity is happening right here. During the interview.
I wrote a song about cowboys, and the hook of the song, my son was about 2 years old, 11 son, was 2 years old, or 3 years old, and he's playing cowboys, and he was doing I'm riding along singing a cowboy song. I then parlayed that into a 3-verse song about being a cowboy and...
That one. We gigged that song at Smith's. That was our only other performance. So, yeah, and it probably will be in our set list. Going forward too, because it's a good song. Yeah.
My grandmother died of Alzheimer's disease, but I don't think we're going to be allowed to do the song I wrote about that.
Why is that?
Well, put it this way, my then partner actually saw the lyrics and said, "You need a psychiatrist," and she was entirely right. But
Well, what's wrong with that? Don't all musicians need a psychiatrist?
Exactly. Thank you.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm very excited to have met you.
Yes.
Very excited to attend one of your first performances, the second one. But I'm also very excited that you are the age bracket, different age bracket, but very, very passionate and very new and going forward. So. Thank you very much for sitting down and talking with me. Thank you very much for allowing me to record your performance.
Thank you so much.
Given our age, we needed to sit down.
And thank you so much, Mitch, for the opportunity. You messaged me and said, and thank you. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you, Rod. Thank you, Leonie. Thank you, John.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers. All right.
All the best. And guys, put some comments, subscribe, likes. We love it. And
11:11.
we're gonna post the links.
Send money.
Yes, send money. We're gonna post the links to the band, to their Spotify, Bandcamp, whatever.
That's
Click.
right.
It's down there. Thank you. Stay tuned. Bye.